subscribe to this channel, hit that like button for me, and share this video. Now, we got the U.S. aircraft carriers in the Mid East. Now, President Trump, you know, threatened to bomb Iran. So nothing surprised me, brothers and sisters. I'm not stunned by this. I told you guys in my last video how America and Iran had this long beef. Now, the retired general exposed the Iranians' playbook with nuclear weapons. Now, President Trump saying that we don't want Iran with these nuclear weapons. And at some point, you see the sanctions is not working on Iran. So at some point, Iran feeling, at some point they feeling the sanctions. And, Trump, he about had it. And threatened to bomb out the Iranians. So you guys, please share this video as you guys come in here, man. All this is just setting up the stage for the big war on a global, scale. I told you guys already that Iran and America was feuding, man. And at some point, you're going to see a whole escalation break out on a global, scale. So, I was not stunned by this. I wasn't surprised by this. But, you see ever since, President, Trump stepped in office, man, it's just been one problem after another. You've seen how executive orders been made. You've seen the deportation on immigration. We've seen how civil rights been violated. We've seen Trump was cutting down on taxes, education, and see the cost of food is going up. I mean, y'all seeing it. Y'all seeing all this is building up, man. Chaos. Let me roll this video.
Warns of a possible military strike on the table to keep Iran from completing its work towards a nuclear weapon. He said he wants an agreement, but this is clearly the backup plan. His special envoy, Steve Witkoff, meeting with Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, in Amman over the weekend. The president says that more talks are set for this weekend, but he says you have to keep your options open.
If we have to do something very harsh, we'll do it. And I'm not doing it for us, I'm doing it for the world. And these are radicalized people, and they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
I want you guys to understand, Trump is doing all this to set up the global scale, man. All this he's doing to build everything up on a global scale, man. Certain things, I just don't agree, y'all. You know what I mean? How long do Iran had nukes and they was using these nuclears? Now all of a sudden we get President Trump in office. He want to intercept the nukes. He want to go into their facilities and take these nukes from Iran. It's just one problem after another. Ever since you get this man in, it's just been one problem after another, man. You know what I mean? And the world ain't gonna be happy, man, till they see this man assassinated or they see this man get out, man. And I'm gonna just keep it real, man. The world is not gonna be happy until they see this man get taken out or they see this man walk out, man. That's why Al Green want to do the impeachment, man, because he see Trump. He see Trump as a incessor, liar. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He's a bully. He's a punk, and he don't fit as a president of this country, y'all. And y'all about to see, man. Y'all about to see what's gonna come on this country, man. All hell finna break out, man. He ever since he been in office, it been hell.
Of course it does.
Of course it does, says the president. With that, we bring in retired four-star General Jack Keane, former Vice Chief of Staff of the Army and now Chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and Fox News Senior Strategic Analyst. General Keane, always good to have you with us. Tell us how you view where the U.S. and Iran are right now with all of this.
Yeah, certainly, Martha. Yeah, let's see if we can unpack this a little bit. Just a few weeks ago, the supreme leader of Iran was refusing to go to negotiations at all. His advisors, what we're told, convinced them that they should. And what's motivating them? Well, number one, their economy is in the tank. Their currency, the rial, is really spiraled out of control, and they got inflation somewhere in the neighborhood of 30%. The middle class elites are now being affected by it, and even the aristocrats, if you want to call them that, the people who are really tied to the regime, have fancy cars, do designer shopping, etc., they're also having problems. So Iran feels more economic pressure than they have in some time, and now President Trump is slapping crippling sanctions back on them to increase that. So that's the motivation, number one. The second motivation is obviously the ultimatum that President Trump has issued to them, which is if you don't dismantle the program, then something bad is going to happen. You're likely going to be.
Now, the Iranians, man, they feeling a domino effect on the stations. Yeah, they feeling the effect. They feeling the domino effect on the stations. So, as long as Trump keep putting them on them, what I mean, they will feel the effect. But nothing gonna change their minds. What I mean, the economy, they taking a fall on the economy. So all it's gonna do is just set up an escalation, what I mean, for the world biggest stage. So, what I mean, like I said to you guys, man, that surprised me. I told you guys how, what I mean, these fortunate countries going to stall America, what I mean, and it's going to be our war, man. What I mean? That's what Trump wants. What I mean? If it takes a lot of people's lives to be, what I mean, gone, what I mean, that's what it takes for Trump to continue to push America into, what I mean, a corporation. What I mean? He want to recorporate America and resegregate America. What I mean? Because it's gonna get to a point, you guys. It's gonna be a lot of bloodshed. It's gonna be a lot of people dying, and he's willing to go that distance. You got to understand, man. Trump is never for American people, man. He's willing to escalate a war. Why you think he's what I mean, putting his foot down on what I mean, a lot of things right now. What I mean? He don't care about the high inflations. He don't care about how the stock market is going up. He knows stock market is going up and down. He know if a war will escalate, everything will go up, man. Trump knows what he's doing, in other words, man. You know what I mean? He knows exactly what he's doing. Let's roll this footage. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Bob, these are his words. is an Israeli-led, U.S.-supported airstrike, most likely. So here comes Iran, and I am stunned by these guys, Martha, because they have a playbook that they opened up again, and it's to replay the negotiations they did with Obama in 2013 that led to the disastrous 2015 deal. What am I talking about? They're saying, look, we'll reduce all the highly enriched uranium we have down to a very low percentage like we had back in the so-called nuclear deal, the JCPOA. In other words, we're not going to build a nuclear weapon. We're just going to use it for civilian commercial nuclear power. Of course, that's a bold-faced lie. And they're thinking the Trump administration is going to buy this. After all, in 2018, Trump pulled out of that very deal. And then in 2019, when the North Koreans did not dismantle their program after saying they fully intended to do at a meeting in Hanoi, Trump got up and turned.
Let me tell y'all something, man. This country on the verge going straight to hell. Straight to hell. Straight to hell. You know, why is Trump so concerned about Iran nuclears? And why do he want to intercept their nuclears and take their nuclears? I understand that he wants all these nukes out of Iran. I understand. But you see the hate building up for this man that God allowed him to be president of the United States, man. God allowed this man to be president because y'all about to see the big picture here, man. Y'all about to see the big picture here. They setting this thing up on a global scale, y'all. On a global scale, if you look at America and see how you rank America, from a 1 to 10, man, America got to be between the 3 or 4, man. Because at the end of the day, you about to see how nation rise, man, and you about to see how friendship is speeding her doom. Y'all about to see this, man. Y'all about to see how these nations will rise and look at our president. You about to see, man. They taking America. They taking this country a joke. They think America's a joke, y'all. They think America's a joke, man. And America doesn't want to push this into a war. If you push this to a war when you 2 years behind, all hell is going to break out. All hell is going to break out. They don't even have enough to what it takes to overcome. Because I want to say we are so behind, man. They don't even have what it takes to put this country at war. They don't even we don't have enough soldiers here, man. We don't have the things China and them have, man. That's why I told you guys, man, on my last videos, man, how China take care of population, man, and how we take care of our population, man. You know, America could have had, you know what I mean, supported the allies, man. They could have had built up Tehran. You know? But, you know, karma is coming to them, man. Karma is coming to them, man. And like I said, y'all, you know what I mean, be ready, man, because we are standing here in this crossfire, man. And these motherfuckers don't even want to push this war. They talk a good one, but they don't even want to go into war. They're not ready to go into war, man.
Terminated the meeting and walked away. So here they are trying to convince the same administration, obviously with some new players, but the president is key here, that the fact that we're going to lower the enrichment and just use it for civilian power is a distinction that no longer has a difference. Because why? 10 years later, the Iranians can manufacture using advanced centrifuges highly enrich uranium very rapidly. So they could go to a secret site if we agree to that deal, rapidly build the capability they have right now, where they're just weeks away from having 6 nuclear weapons, is what analysts think they're on the path to. So here they are putting it in front of the.
What he's saying is they're on the path of making secret weapons, more nuclears. You see how these 4 the country already advanced, and why we are behind, man. Whole purpose President Trump want to take these nuclears is to, you know what I mean? It's not just to look good, but they're gonna take Iran's nuclears and try them for combat. This is about war. This is not about peace. I told y'all on my videos, this was not no peace negotiation. This is not about no peace, y'all. This is about war. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Share this video, man. I'm out.